Sometimes the room is quiet, and your body still acts like someone is asking you a question. It's 11:05 at night in a small room with white fluorescent light, a cold metal chair, and a pen clicking on the table every few seconds. The official questions may be over. The papers may be stacked. The door may even be open. So why does it still feel like the case is happening inside you? This is the strange gap between a legal case ending and the mental case continuing. Not a real case with files and deadlines, but the private case your mind keeps reopening when something heavy has passed. In this video, we'll slow down and look at why the outside ending does not always feel like an inside ending, and what can make the next quiet hour feel a little less loaded. The legal case ends when a process reaches a stopping point. But the mental case continues when your mind keeps replaying the pressure, the questions, the tone, and the possible meaning of what happened long after the room has emptied. One common reason is that the body remembers pressure differently than paperwork does. A document can be closed, signed, stamped, or put away, but the person who sat under the bright light may still carry the shape of that room. The mind may understand that the formal part is over, while the body still expects the next question, the next look, the next small mistake to matter. So later, at home, you hear a pen click in a drawer, or see the pale light above the kitchen sink, and suddenly a normal evening feels too sharp. It can seem confusing from the outside, but inside, it is the leftover echo of being watched closely. Sometimes, it comes from the way questioning changes your relationship with your own memory. When someone asks the same thing from different angles, even a person telling the truth can start checking themselves in a strange way. You begin to examine every word, every pause, every small detail, not because you are hiding something, but because the pressure makes ordinary remembering feel risky. So after the legal part ends, you may still replay your own answers while brushing your teeth, wondering if one sentence sounded too careful or not careful enough. That is how a finished event can keep moving around inside your head. There's also a quieter reason. The outside world moves on faster than the person inside the moment. Other people may say it's done, the case is closed, the hard part is behind you, and maybe they mean well. But the person who stood in that room at 11:05 does not always come back to normal speed right away. They may walk into the hallway, hold their phone, read a normal message about groceries, and still feel far away from it. When everyone else treats the ending as simple, the leftover feeling can become even lonelier. It's late, maybe a little after midnight now, and you are back in your apartment. The room is warmer than the place you just left, but you still keep your jacket on. A glass of water sits on the counter, untouched, because even drinking water feels like too much movement for a minute. You put your keys down, then pick them up again, then put them down in a different spot, as if your hands are looking for something to do. No one is asking you anything anymore. There is no table across from you. No one is leaning back in a chair, waiting. But your mind keeps returning to one answer you gave. You hear your own voice. You hear the pause before it. You remember the look on someone's face, and even if it meant nothing, your mind tries to read it like evidence. You might stand in the bathroom with the light off, just looking at the mirror from the side, not fully facing it. You are not crying. You are not falling apart. You are just not back yet. If you've been there, you're not strange. You might know someone who lives like this. This is what it can look like when a formal ending arrives before the inner ending does. The world says the case is over, but your mind keeps sorting through the room like something important got left behind. The hard part is that this can make normal life feel slightly unreal for a while. A simple call from a friend can feel like one more thing to explain. A message asking "Are you okay?" can feel too big, because the honest answer is not short enough for a text. Even silence can feel crowded. You may want people close, and also want nobody to ask anything. That emotional contradiction can be tiring, wanting comfort, but feeling too full to receive it. It can help to separate the official ending from the personal ending. The official ending is what happened on paper, in the system, in the room, among the people who were part of the process. The personal ending is quieter. It may happen later, when your body finally notices that no one is watching you, no one is waiting for an answer, and no one is measuring your every pause. You might write one plain line somewhere private, "That part is over for tonight." Not as a perfect truth for every feeling, just as a small marker in a night that feels blurry. This works because the mind often looks for a boundary, and a simple sentence can give the moment a softer edge. Another small thing can be letting the room become only a room again. When a place is held pressure, your mind may turn every detail into a signal. The light, the chair, the table, the clicking pen, the cold surface under your hands. Later, when one of those details returns in ordinary life, it may carry more weight than it deserves. You might notice it gently. This is a light. This is a chair. This is a table. Not to erase what happened, but to bring each object back down to size. It may sound too simple, but simple can be useful when the mind has turned everything into evidence. And there's something else here that is easy to miss. Sometimes the mental case continues because the person never got a quiet place to be more than what happened. During the legal process, you may become a statement, a timeline, a name on a page, a person answering questions under a light. Even kind people may talk mostly about the case, because that is the part they can see. But after it ends, a person may still be trying to return to being ordinary again. Someone who makes coffee. Someone who forgets laundry in the dryer. Someone who laughs at a message and then feels surprised that laughter can still happen. That return does not always come as one big moment. Sometimes it comes when you finally take off the jacket you kept on too long. Sometimes it comes when you wash the cup that sat untouched on the counter. Sometimes it comes when you hear a pen click and, for 1 second, it is only a pen again. This is for people who walked out of the room, but did not feel free right away. The legal case can end in public, while the mental case ends more quietly. It may end in pieces, through small ordinary moments where your mind slowly learns that the question is not being asked anymore. And if this felt familiar, you are welcome to stay with Quiet Reasons for more quiet explanations like this, one feeling at a time.